Welcome to the Charleston Real Estate Connection Podcast, connecting and reconnecting you with all things Charleston. I am your host, Nia Joy, your Golden Realtor, licensed in the state of South Carolina. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the 25th episode of the Charleston Real Estate Connection Podcast. Woo! So I decided to do the podcast today without my headphones because I'm hoping that it's quiet enough in my house that I can just trust the sound around me. So you get to hear it here, raw. Won't be adjusting my sound as much. So welcome. Oh my goodness, 25 episodes. It's so exciting. We are here. This episode isn't going to be super long. I really wanted to thank my listeners for the feedback and joining me. Thank you for my guests who have supported me. I want to tag you all in this post as well as in the podcast. Thank you so much for taking this ride with me. This is such a big deal for me because it's something I wanted to do in 2020. Had no idea, like you, that it was going to be such a roller coaster, but we continue. That's the biggest thing. So continue out there for all of you who are going through so many things related to the happenings with this pandemic and just things that are happening in the world. My thoughts and prayers are with you, thinking about you and praying that you find your way and you have the strength to continue because a lot is going on. So continue to stay safe out there, wash your hands and wear your mask, do all the protective things that are recommended to keep us all safe. So we're here, 25 episodes. This is the 25th one. Oh man, I'm grateful because I have some notes here with me. So 2 things I want to talk about in today's podcast. One being the Charleston real estate market. I want to talk about how it's going. We've done 6 months where we have it documented on how it went from January through July. We know how the months have panned out so far. So I really wanted to update my guests. I try to do it quarterly. Don't want to overwhelm anybody. Trying to do it quarterly. In our market, the Charleston market is pretty steady. We've been staying strong. If you're interested in listening to this podcast or even watching this podcast, no matter what medium you're getting it from, whether it be social media or the podcast or the YouTube channel, you can always check this out on our website, charlestonreconnection.com. That's charlestonreconnection.com. If you want to check us out on the YouTube channel, you can do so at charlestonisamazing.com. That's charlestonisamazing.com. Very simple. Keep it simple for you. That's where you can check out the videos for that. We will be launching a new website here soon where we have everything integrated in one place, from social media to the videos to the podcast. So that'd be pretty cool. You can also listen to this podcast wherever you enjoy listening to your favorite podcast. That would be iTunes, Google Podcasts, SoundCloud, just to name a few. We're on Stitcher. We're on every single major podcast platform. So subscribe today, share with a family member or friend. If you're interested in learning more about the Charleston area, have a suggestion for a podcast guest or episode, I am open. Email me, send me a direct message. We'd love to hear from you. So we want to talk about, again, the Charleston real estate market, how it's been doing. And then the second part of the show, we're going to be just reflecting on some of the podcast guests that we've had, some of the things that they've discussed with us, the good times. I can tell you that with every podcast guest, some of them have done podcasts before, so it's nothing new. Others, it's a new thing, and I'm so honored to be the first. You know, everybody wants to be the first to be able to do that with their guests, to be the first person that they've been on the show with. We're coming in a season now, in season 2, where we're engaging more with our business owners on site. We are being more active and proactive with them, as well as our referral partners in different states. I'm so excited. We have the state of Georgia coming soon. We have Atlanta and Savannah referral partners coming. I look forward to some of my other referral partners in Delaware, California, Vegas. So there's going to be some of our referral partners, as well as Florida. And Florida is one of those markets, like many others, like South Carolina even, where you have different agents in different markets. So it'll be a nice little spin on getting take on what they're doing where they are, and what we're doing here in Charleston. And just so you know, referral partners, what I mean by that is that's an agent that I work with to help a client, whether it be a seller or a buyer, close on their home or a property with another agent. I get to be a part of that deal, and I'm not licensed in that state most often. So that's pretty cool. How it works is we get a commission, and we also get to work along with that agent, and that client to make them feel comfortable, help them close on their home or their property. And everybody wins. We get to meet new people and just get the job done. So if you have anybody that's looking to move in this Charleston, South Carolina area or abroad, we can help. Just let me know. My team and I, we get together and we put something, a meeting for you. We set up a Zoom call, set up a phone call, whatever it takes to get it done. All right. So another feature you'll be able to have the opportunity of utilizing on my site is for ads and donations. We'll be taking ads and donations on that site. So you'll be pretty cool that you don't have to, whether you're a guest or somebody who just likes the podcast and just wants to thank us for doing what we do, you can leave donations and leave a shout out there with us. So let me recap for you the Charleston real estate market. Now, the Charleston real estate market, these statistics I'm about to present to you, this actually encompasses the Charleston, the 4 major counties. The top 3 counties, of course, that you're familiar with hearing is Charleston County, Berkeley County, and of course, Dorchester County, where I live, Dorchester County. So let's recap July. Let's go ahead and focus on that. So we are at a median sales price at the end of July at $290,000. That's year to date. Year to date, we're at $290,000. So every year, I got in the business a few years ago. When I got in the business, it was around 252. Okay. Then it crept up the next year to about 277. And then, then closer to the 280. So now they were predicting the 280s and up already. We were at the 285 mark. We're at 290,000. So what that means is it's a strong market for sellers. We're in a seller's market that hasn't changed. People ask me what market we're in. We're in a seller's market. How do you know we're in a seller's market? Well, you're in a seller's market because we don't have enough inventory to support the buyers that are out there looking. So that's how you know. If we were in a buyer's market, there would be more inventory out there and buyers would have more options. But right now, it's the sellers that are kind of have the upper hand a little bit because there's not enough inventory. So you're having multiple offer situations happening on properties, whether it be rural or a city or suburbia. It's happening. So a lot of people like staying above the median sales price of 290 if they can help it. Of course, there are things that come along with being in that price point, whether it be location. We have a lot of new construction happening in Berkeley County, and we also have some happening out in Charleston County. But a lot of it's happening, you'll see in the Cane Bay area, the Nexton area, Monk's Corner area. That's where a lot of our construction is happening. But you can also find new construction in West Ashley, which is Charleston County, Mount Pleasant, Owendaw. You can also find it out in Dorchester County, out in Somerville, Ridgeville, where the lines start to kind of blur out there with the counties. So that's that. I just touched base on the median sales price. So inventory is down. Like I said, inventory is down. We're still down with inventory. We've had over almost 12,000 homes sold since January. That's almost 12,000 homes at 11,576. In July alone, 2,400 homes sold. 2,400. So with the COVID virus or the COVID pandemic, what's happening is we had a little bit of a gray area where people weren't buying and selling as much between end of March through uh, May, April, beginning of May. So end of May, it started picking up. And June and July have been really strong in the market with closings. So we predict that it will probably continue to go that route, mainly because people still need to buy and sell. So a quote from our CTAR president, or our Charleston Trident Association of Realtors president, her name is Bobette Fisher. The increased number of showings we've been tracking since our state's reopening has translated to a record number of closed sales. The interest and investment in the Charleston market is now surging past even last year's record-breaking figures. So there you have it. We are above where we were last year. Charleston is very attractive. I'm going to put the plug in about when I was on a podcast for another young lady who actually focuses on analytics. I can't say that word right now. Analytics. She focuses on analytics. And what she found in this book is that the South, Charleston, for example, is a booming area that retirees are moving to. Younger people, we have a huge, really strong job market. So Charleston's booming. We have the airport, we have Boeing, we have Volvo, Mercedes, the city. We have hospitals, really good hospitals here. So we have a lot of reasons why people want to find work here in the Charleston area. So we're strong. That's good. So if you know anybody looking to move to the Charleston area, we are happy to have you. We're happy to help in any way we can. So the next section here I'm going to talk about is I want to recap and celebrate our 25 episodes that we've had so far. And in doing so, I'm going to give a shout out to every single guest that we've ever had, both guests that we've interviewed and you've had the opportunity to listen to the podcast, and also our guests who I've recorded recently and you haven't heard yet, but you will soon. To do the podcast, again, doing the podcast for me is a big deal because it's an opportunity for me to give back to the community and showcase business owners. I've been doing a lot of networking with business owners just because I really want to showcase them. If I had an opportunity to be showcased and do a free commercial or a free showcase for my business, I'd be honored to do it. And so that's the way how I got the idea. I know people across the country sometimes do this on shows or maybe a Facebook Live, but I really wanted to do it with the podcast in mind and also showcase the things that are happening in Charleston. You'll see me and my family out doing different things in the community, and I'll do quick podcasts with that coming up this season as well. So from the beaches to free events to things you have to pay for, I want to focus on doing that more this season in the second season. So again, if you want to listen to our podcast, check us out on our website, charlestonreconnection.com. That's charlestonreconnection.com. Our YouTube channel is charlestonisamazing.com. That's charlestonisamazing.com if you want to check out our YouTube channel. So recapping. Oh my goodness. I've had quite a ride here doing the podcast with my guests. We're again at 25 episodes. I'm just going to read up some of the guests that I've had here. All right. So my very first guest that I had on the show was one of my preferred lenders. Her name is Tamara York. Tamara York with Asset Assured Financial Services. Tamara is phenomenal. Check her out. I have her link here and her contact information in the show notes. She is an amazing lender because she's just passionate about what she does. She's passionate about what she does, passionate about helping people and getting the job done. So she's very thorough, highly recommended when it comes to customer service and follow up. So you can count on Tamara. I also have here Michelle Summers of Signature Hall and Events. This was a really fun episode. Tamara, of course, being that the previous episode I just mentioned, she and I kind of talked about what it was like to use your taxes and to kind of go toward your tax refund to go toward the purchase of a home, and what to do if you have student loans or negative accounts. She shed some light on that. But with Michelle Summers of Your Signature Hall and Events, Michelle is unique because, of course, she was the first business owner that had an actual venue. She had an actual place, a storefront. So I kind of learned about her through social media, and highlighting her was a huge deal for me because I watched her story, I listened to her story, and got to hear about how she went from, kind of just doing a wedding for her sister, and it grew into, wow, so you do weddings? Can you do my wedding? Can you do my wedding? And she grew this business, and now she has this gorgeous venue where I hope to have my 40th birthday party. And it's just a beautiful place to be. I love how she decorates it. And of course, you're opening a business, and then boom, COVID happens. And you get to continue watching her story if you follow her on social media. She doesn't let it stop her. She pauses for a moment, just like we all did. And then she took it back and did what she had to do. So kudos to her. Follow her. Use her if you have a birthday party, baby shower. She has different packages. She has different rooms that you can use if you're going to use a smaller party versus a larger party. Check her out. Check her out and utilize her services. Then we had Living Out Loud, Below the Skirt and Living Out Loud with Tamara Green. Tamara Green at Renewal Rehabilitation Center. My sorrow, my girl, my accountability partner, she was out there doing her thing at Renewal. She's located in a couple different locations. She's located in St. George, South Carolina, which may be a little further out for some of you, but that's okay because she has an office in Goose Creek as well. She is really good. She also does virtual consultations with her clients, and she has a team. She also has another physical therapist that's on her staff, so they're able to accommodate the clientele that they have. And her specialty is pelvic floor, so that's where the Below the Skirt comes in. So it was a fun episode because Tamara is an athlete in college, and she did really well in college, and I think she was homecoming queen. And she just had a cute story about how she became a physical therapist and just kind of went out and started her own business. Tamara is unique in that her very highly specialized area of pelvic floor is not only for men. It's not only for men, but it's for women as well. So from prostate to having a leaky faucet, having incontinence, that sort of thing, Tamara is really phenomenal in what she does. So again, check her out. She's amazing. Then after that, we had Diandra Dellucci, photographer and artist. She's pretty cool. What can I say about her? With these artists, it's so helpful to go on their website and their pages. So I have her, we'll tag her as well. You can check out all these episodes from the link that's in the show notes. In the show notes, you can just literally go on each episode and click on the episode. For example, Diandra was episode 7. So she actually told the cute story about how she went from being an auto mechanic or thinking she's going to be an auto mechanic to being this artsy person that she is today. So it's a very cute, unique story. I love it because Diandra is an entrepreneur. And for those of you who know, how many people have told your kids or you believe that you can't make a living off of doing photography and art? You can. You really can. And Diandra is one of those people. So give her a shout out. She does her own custom artwork. And then she also does anything from real estate photos, people, places, and there's another P in there. I should go back and look at that. But check her out. She's awesome. She talked about the 4 Ps. So check her out. Then we had Councilman Ron. Councilman Ron is my councilman here in the Dorchester County area, also in the Charleston County area. He's a really good guy. He has roots with the actual Post and Courier. His job is a type of job where, you're not doing it for money, because it's not like they get paid like that. They do this job because they really care about, helping and giving back to the community, and literally being a voice for you and me. So when we have a problem in our neighborhood, we reach out to Ron. We ask how he can help, and he literally takes it on up to the city of North Charleston, just like all your councilmen do. They take it up to whatever town, city they're in, and they bring it up to the mayoral board, and they see what they can do. So check out Councilman Ron. I look forward to doing more interviews with other politicians. That's going to be a great thing to showcase. After that, we had an awesome interview with Dr. Jessica Berry. Dr. Jessica Berry wrote a book called The Little Gullah Geechee Book. She is not only an author, but she's also an artist, as far as a recording artist. She's phenomenal. She's a professor at South Carolina State University. I mean, what can I say? This was a fun episode because Jessica has such a high spirit. She's a believer, like myself. She is just a go-getter. She believes in sharing her love for Jesus and her gifts and talents with the Gullah art, the Gullah culture. She's a total Renaissance woman. So pick up her book. Definitely pick it up. They sell it both locally and on Amazon. And it's a phenomenal book. You've got to check it out. You got to pick one up. Let me know what you think of it when you pick it up as well. Then after that, we had an episode with Jim Duffy. Jim Duffy is one of my preferred lenders as well. Jim Duffy was one of the first lenders that reached out to me, and one of the first that I still work with since day one. So Jim has been a really good resource because he's so knowledgeable. He has a really strong history in mortgages. He's been in mortgages since the recession, since before the recession. He's been rolling pretty deep in mortgages. And what can I say? He just knows his stuff. So Jim Duffy of Atlantic Coast Mortgage, reach out to him. He is a phenomenal guy. And get your pre-approval letter. He will help you get into your home. All right. So after that, we had the pleasure of interviewing my founder of HomeGate Real Estate, Paul Tippets with HomeGate Real Estate. He talked about his journey into real estate and his journey into founding the brokerage that I'm now a part of, which this brokerage is actually nationally. It's nationally known. You can now start a brokerage in any of our 50 states. You would just literally start a brokerage or join a brokerage that's available. If you know somebody interested in starting a brokerage and you're a broker off of these states, reach out, go to the website, joinhomegate.com, and tell them I sent you. And consider starting your own brokerage or joining a brokerage. We have several brokerages. I used to be able to name off the few that we have, but I can't even do that anymore. So go HomeGate. Then after that, we had the pleasure of speaking with Dion. Dion is a realtor in Charlotte. He is one of my referral partners. He's a cool guy. Went from selling cable and doing things with cable to actually selling real estate. Great guy. My referral partners in Charlotte. Love working with him. Moving to or from Charlotte to Charleston, we can help. After that, I met with Brent Suttles of the Suttles law firm. That's where most of my closings take place. Brent and his team are amazing. I love Laura. Is one of his paralegals. All his paralegals are great, but I love Laura. Laura's awesome. His staff's great. I love it because Brent is a great guy. He has a great team of lawyers and staff. And what they do is they focus on the client, what you need. They're really responsive, and they really just get the job done. So you're looking for a closing attorney, real estate attorney, estate planning, Suttles law firm. Check them out. All right. Okay. And then after that, I had a really cool time on episode 16 with Priscilla Johnson and Sakina Oh my gosh. This episode was like the longest episode I ever did, and people still listened and watched. Thank you for that. This was this was during COVID. This was around April. Everything had been shut down for a while, maybe almost close to a month. Things were kind of going crazy. We were home with our kids. And so I brought together these two phenomenal people, these two phenomenal teachers and the assistant principal that I know. The cool thing about this podcast is that Sakina is actually a college classmate of mine, but she's from Charleston. And then Priscilla is actually an assistant principal here in the county, Dorchester County. So it was a really good perspective conversation we had about being a parent, as well as distance learning and understanding how this may or may not work for the future. So it provided a lot of great insight. And this is going to be one of those foundational podcasts that I think people are probably going to come back to and listen to, and maybe even use for research. So social research, okay? All right, just take it like that. After that, we met with one of my inspectors, PGR Home Inspections, with Adam Richardson. Adam is awesome. Adam is my go-to, one of my go-to inspectors. He is so thorough. He treats the home as though he's going to live in it. He wants to make sure you're safe and secure. And as you know, like these inspectors do, they focus on inspecting the home in the 2020 time frame or 2020 year. So anything that's not up to code to the year that they're going to inspect, that's what they inspect for. But what I like about Adam is he takes it a step further and he talks to you and he guides you through things. So shout out to Adam for his time and attention that he gives to my clients. And he's on my vendor list, so use him. He's an amazing inspector. After that, we met with Bo Taylor. Bo Taylor is somebody who I have been following on LinkedIn, and I had the opportunity to ask him to be on the podcast because he is the go-to guru of Nexten. He works with engaging with realtors and clients and customers and vendors. Bo Taylor is actually not only the Nexten guru, he can tell you all about the new area of Nexten, but he also is a personal trainer. So he got the time to tell us about how he got into personal training, and then he also spoke very detailed about Nexten. So if you're looking for a personal trainer, looking for meal planning, looking for someone to help you with exercising and planning, reach out to Bo. He's phenomenal. He's so personable. He's like family. All right. So definitely do that. All right. After Bo, we met with Melissa Dugal, one of my other referral partners in Florida. There's a few of them out there. Melissa is amazing. She is out in the Tampa, Florida area. So if you're thinking about moving to the Tampa, Florida area, please reach out to Melissa. Melissa and I will both take care of you if you're moving from Charleston to Tampa. Melissa has a really long history in working in real estate and paralegal work. She's very thorough, just really good at what she does. She's a transplant, but she knows that area like the back of her hand. So if you're looking to move in the Tampa area, Melissa and I, or specifically Melissa, can take care of you, okay? All right, so after that, we had one of our longest, one of our favorite episodes this far has been My Three Sons of Charleston. It's a Gullah cuisine restaurant and soul food. Lorraine Smalls is the owner. She and her son Antwan graced us with her presence on this podcast. And you talk about phenomenal. It was just raw. It was in the car. It was funny. It was warm. It was inviting. You just felt like you were sitting in the car with them. This was a great episode and definitely among the favorites. So check that out. People were sharing and people are still downloading this at a rate faster than any other podcast episode that I ever had. Okay, so check them out. I look forward to meeting with more restaurant owners and restaurateurs like Lorraine. Check them out. They're here in the North Charleston area. You want soul food on Sunday, from seafood to soul food. Listen, Miss Lorraine and her crew, they can burn a pot, okay? And if y'all don't know what that means she can cook, all right? I'm about to get real gullah and geechee on y'all right now because that's just how good the food is. All right. After that, we had another high-ranking episode with Laquantis Chevis of Stepping Stone Services. She focuses on helping people on writing and brainstorming and getting their ideas from here to the paper. So from their mind to the paper, That's what Laquantis does. She specializes in that. She's a school teacher by trade. That's what she does. But she also helps you understand how you can have multiple streams of income with your book and maybe even teaching online courses. So reach out to Laquantis if that's something you want to do. She's amazing. I'm actually learning from her right now. All right. And the most recent episode we did with our guest was episode 24 with Hard Candy Women's Self-Defense. We had Nia Hartsfield. She's a native of Johns Island, South Carolina. Phenomenal person. I love her nonprofit organization. She teaches women particularly. I mean, she works with all people, but her niche is working with women. But she works with families, works with men, children, teach them about self-defense. Self-defense is her thing. So reach out to her. She's an excellent resource. She does private and group courses, and she has a phenomenal website. They do have some merchandise as well for sale, but she focuses on working with companies, groups. If you're a realtor, you want to learn about safety, you can bring them in your office or do a virtual talk with her maybe, and then maybe even have her eventually come through in the office when things get a little dry and with everything going on, and just teach you some techniques. She's phenomenal. Okay. Well, that summarizes all of our guests that we had on the podcast. Oh, I have so many great memories and laughs and good times with them. We had a lot of technical issues happen during our first 24 episodes, but we made it through. I think my husband and kids might have been cameoed in there sometime. But we just thank you so much for listening. Thank you so much for watching. We appreciate that. If you have an idea for a podcast episode that you'd like to showcase with us, definitely do so. We hope you do that. You can listen to us in your car, of course. You can share our podcast with your family and friends throughout the country. We are just happy that you're here. I am your golden realtor, Nia Joy. I am so honored that you took the time to listen. Subscribe to our podcast on YouTube as well as on iTunes or wherever you listen to your podcast, Google Podcasts. We are happy to have you. Stay safe out there and definitely stay golden. I'll see you on the next one.
This has been another episode of the Charleston Real Estate Connection podcast. You can find us on our website at charlestonreconnection.com. That's charlestonreconnection.com. Or check us out on our YouTube channel at charlestonisamazing.com. That's charlestonisamazing.com. Thank you for listening.